Hey everybody, it's Chris Seeds, Wootini from GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast. This week is a lot of follow-up from last week, so I hope you watched last week's episode or you're going to be completely lost, because there's continuity. To follow up on Eurovision that I was so excited about, my favorite song from Denmark did not make it through the semifinals. It did very badly, I guess because it was just some generic, catchy, fun pop song, and it wasn't inspirational or whatever. So anyway, my favorite song wasn't in the final competition, so I was rooting for Sweden because they have a really good song, and I was planning on going to a hardware bar in Manhattan where they have an annual Eurovision party. But then a friend of mine said, "Are you still going? Because I'm afraid it might be really, really crowded." And I'm like, "Me too, but I've never been, so I don't know. But I do think it'll be crowded." And then another friend who I was meeting at Hardware Bar already said, "You know what, the place I'm having brunch at in East Village is actually screening Eurovision. It might be a better place to watch it because it'll be less crowded and obnoxious." And I thought, that could be true. So I went down there, and they had all these TVs set up, and we staked out a nice spot right in front of a big TV. I ordered some food, I'm ready to go, and then the show starts, and the internet feed on our particular TV that we're facing is horrible. It's just a terrible picture. All the other TVs look perfectly great, but this TV did not like the internet feed for whatever reason, and it looked awful. Then the sound came on, and there was like this extra sound laid on top of the actual audio, and they were trying to figure that out. And so, like, the whole opening ceremonies were just completely lost. And then they finally got the sound right, and we decided to move back into the bar where you could hear better, because up in the front there was a speaker, but nothing was coming out of it, so we're like, ugh. So we went in the back to watch it on one of the other TVs, where we could hear better, and then I realized that the sound was out of sync. So I was like, I'm done with this place. This is the first time I've ever been able to watch Eurovision live in a crowd with like-minded people, and you're ruining it for me. I should have just gone to Hardware Bar in the first place, but I did not. So I'm an idiot. Although who knows what that would have been like. Maybe that would have been too crowded and I would have hated it anyway. But anyway, it worked out. I closed out my tab really quickly, ran outside and grabbed a cab, and my friend joined me in the cab, and we raced to the West Village, to Rock Bar, who also has a Eurovision party. And Rock Bar was terrific. There was a good crowd, it wasn't too crowded, and they had lots of nice TVs, the sound was in sync, and it was great. It was also amusing because when they were doing the voting at the end, because it was a gay bar, every time Russia got a lot of points, there was a lot of booing. And every time Sweden got points, there was lots of cheering. Because basically, I think it's like, not even that you're rooting for Sweden's song or anything, you just don't want Russia to win. And it did come down between Russia and Sweden, and in the end, Sweden was declared the winner, thank goodness. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go to Rock Bar from now on, because that worked pretty well, so I think that'll be my plan, as long as I can actually be free that Saturday and enjoy Eurovision properly. Also, to follow up from last week, remember last week when I was complaining about not being able to download The Witcher 2 on my Xbox 360, which I had downloaded as a free game with gold back in, like, January. Apparently it never downloaded, so when I go to try to download it, it says re-download, because you've already downloaded it. So I've purchased it, you know, for free, but the Xbox Live wasn't letting me download it. So, and I had called customer service, and they were not helpful. He tried to tell me it was a limited time play thing, like Sunset Overdrive, where you could only play it for a month, and I'm like, no, that's not how it works. But I wasn't going to get into a big argument with the guy on the phone. So I was tweeting about it. Xbox support tweets back at me, and it's like, "Oh, we're sorry. Have you tried these methods?" And there was a link, and one of the things they suggested was clearing your, like, marketplace data. So I went into the settings. There was no marketplace data to delete, so I didn't know what they were talking about. But I did check on the hard drive under games, and there was like a little 7 meg file for Witcher 2, so I deleted that, thinking maybe that's what's keeping me from downloading the game properly. So I try to re-download the game, and the error message pops up. So I delete it and go to re-download it so I can take a screenshot of when the error message pops up. But then it doesn't work, and my phone goes to sleep, and I'm like, oh, so I have to do it again. And this time it says that the download is pending, and I'm like, oh. So I'm waiting, and it still says pending, and it's not actually trying to download it and then fail, so I could take a screenshot with my phone of the error message so I can tweet it to Xbox support. It just says pending. I said, alright, forget it. I can't sit here all day. So I went and watched some TV, and after the program I came back to check and try to re-download it again, and it said it was 9% finished. So for whatever reason, it just decided, okay, now I'll download it for you. And it's not because I deleted that little file of 7 megs, because after I deleted it, it failed. Twice. Then suddenly it decided third time's the charm, I guess. I don't know. So it took a while to download because it's a huge file. But I was actually finally able to play Witcher 2, because everyone right now is just gushing about Witcher 3. And I thought, well, I have the ability to play Witcher 2 for free, so why not try that? Rather than spend money on Witcher 3, which I don't know if I'd like. And now I'm really not sure I would like it, and I'm glad I've got Witcher 2 for free, because the first thing, it's like, do you want to try the tutorial? And I'm like, okay, fine. So I try the tutorial, and the tutorial is insane. It's basically like, here's how you do this, that, this, that, this, that, this. It was just this massive overload of information all at once, and I was completely, like, overwhelmed and confused. And then they're like, here's how to do combat. And it just seems like the controls are so complicated. Like, not the controls, because there's 2 attack buttons, a guard button, and a parry button, whatever, it's fine. That I can handle. But they're like, okay, you know, if you want potions, they're over here, and if you want to use throwing knives, they're over here, and here's how you do the spells. And it's just like, you're not just fighting, you know, with your swords, you're also casting spells, you can also throw knives or bombs or set traps, and that just overcomplicated everything to the point of, like, what am I even doing right now? So I was like, phew, and I was like, alright, let me just try the actual game, because normally a game will just walk you through, and the tutorial will be the opening of the game, where it teaches you bit by bit the controls that you need to learn as you need to learn them. The tutorial was just too much all at once. So, and in fact, playing the actual game, it does kind of ease you into things, so I'm like, okay, fine. However, I found it very amusing that I'm finally playing this game, and the opening of this game is the demo that I played at E3 back years and years ago when it was at E3 and I played it there. Because I remember it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this part. And, because I remember I was using the like, force push spell to knock people off the tower instead of having to fight them. They would just fall to their deaths. It was easy that way. But I remember in the demo I actually switched to fire just because I was like, well, let me try something else, and I switched to the fire spell so I could, like, set people alight, which was fun too. So I don't know what the appeal is about The Witcher. It seems extremely linear. I get the impression that as you're having the conversations and stuff, you are branching the story out, but the actual action seems like, you know, very linear, and I'm hoping that after this introductory section, it opens up and I have the ability to, you know, explore places and stuff, you know. Because from what everybody's saying about Witcher 3, they're making it sound, you know, like a Dragon Age kind of thing, where there's all this stuff to do, and you can go all these places and do all these things. And, so I'm hoping that's what The Witcher 2 becomes. Unless that's not what The Witcher 2 is, and they changed it for the third one to make it more open world. I don't know. But I'm less than impressed and glad that I didn't pay for it. I also tried out Yakuza 4, which was a PlayStation 3 game the other month, that was free for PlayStation Plus, and I'm hoping that eventually the, because right now it's cutscene the game. I have watched more cutscenes than I have actually used the controller in gameplay. It's like 80% cutscenes right now, and I'm hoping that changes, but it's also not a very compelling story, and I'm just sort of like, whatever. So again, happy I didn't pay for it. I'm just basically killing time because I'm waiting for Splatoon, which is coming out at the end of this week, and that'll be a lot of fun. I can play with my friends online, and that'll hold me over until, you know, that'll entertain me through June, because I think at the end of June is when the new Batman game comes out, which I'm super excited for. So what are you playing? Should I keep playing Witcher 2 or Yakuza 4? Just, I mean, there's only another week left, and then I'll be playing Splatoon, but, you know. Let me know what you thought of it if you played it. And I'll see you back here next week. Bye!